Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Ryan Dins, and on this episode, we're going to talk about CRO, Cronos. So what's going on with the official coin of crypto.com? So we're going to see right here. Before I do that, please hit that like and subscribe button. I post a lot about CRO. It's one of my favorite coins, and it actually is the one that I own the most of right now out of anything. So full disclosure, I am pretty heavily invested in this, and I just have really high confidence for it because if you look at Binance Coin and look at the story of that, people who got into that a few years ago, it pretty much 10x'd within the course of a few months. And I think the only thing that's stopping CRO from doing that right now is pretty much this. This is what's happening. This is Bitcoin, right? And if I zoom out a little, it's not, if it stays doing this, CRO is just not going to blow up. We need Bitcoin to blow up. But with that being said, say Bitcoin gets like a 30 or 40% run. This is going to be one of the coins that like 5x's, because if you look at this chart, it broke out. And the only thing, in my opinion, that's stopping this breakout from being glorious and going to like $1 or north of $1 is everything follows Bitcoin. This isn't going to 10x if Bitcoin, keeps being choppy. And, what's going on right now, just so you understand what's going on with crypto, is this whole war thing that's happening. You would think that because of what's happening with the war and, Russian citizens, innocent Russian citizens who had nothing to do with any of it, they're getting their bank accounts frozen and they're not able to use their credit cards and things like that just because their leader is doing stuff that the world doesn't agree with. So you would think that that alone would send crypto skyrocketing. Like, oh, look, we can't trust the banks because they can just freeze your assets at any time. Maybe we need crypto. You would think that. But there's also some negative news that goes along with that. The headlines, people are sending, Russia crypto to fund the war is like the other side of it, which is complete BS in my opinion. But, it is actually, I'm sure, happening. So, it is a little bit of a concern, but I'm just trying to explain to you how both offset each other. Like, yeah, on one hand, inflation's through the roof. You can't trust banks anymore. I guess we need crypto. On the other hand, they're sending a little bit of FUD with the fact that this kind of war has been, funded by crypto because banks are getting shut down and that kind of thing. So with that being said, it really did break out here, but it didn't have a strong breakout. Like, if you look at the volume's like next to nothing. Quite honestly, as bad as this sounds, people just stopped caring about crypto recently. You can see this by the volume. Like right here is huge volume. Back here as a YouTuber, when I made any video about crypto, it would just like get thousands of views right off the bat. And now it's like, it's hard to get views. And I'm not complaining about that. It's just like, I'm just trying to say how things are right now is people just don't care. Like, the videos are getting less views. It's not just me, it's every single YouTuber is getting less views because people just aren't like really looking into crypto. But what I'm hopeful for, as both a YouTuber and an investor, is if we get hot again, here, let's look at to back up that point that I'm just saying. Look at the volume on Bitcoin, right? October, let's go back even a little further. Actually, just for fun, let's look at this weekly volume and we'll see. This will really give us an indication of when the volume's big. So with the weekly, volume was huge when it was trying to break 10,000 back in December. Then it went through its little bear market. there was a little spikes here and there, but the real volume didn't come back in until the second bull run came, and then it was huge all through 2021. And as you could see, 2022 is some of the lowest volume we've seen since 2018, which was in the bear market. So it's not exactly good for crypto. However, we're not in a bad spot where Bitcoin is. You know, like this is probably going to go to here eventually. It's just consolidating and you're just going to have to deal with it. You know, there's not much you could do. Like a lot of people are like, oh, you know, Bitcoin could eventually go to like 200, 250. Like, I still think that's possible. It's just something needs to happen where people really care about crypto. And in my humble opinion, I feel that crypto is here for the long run and is eventually going to do that. And when that happens, you're like, why are you talking about Bitcoin that much? I just kind of got off topic a little bit, but ooh, look at this right here. You see that candle? This might be a good time to buy. If it breaks past here, it might go for a little run. So if it breaks like 41 cents, ooh, then we're looking real nice. So yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin does what I think it's going to do, say Bitcoin goes to 100,000, this thing is going to go to like $5 plus. You know, I had a comment on one of my last videos saying, oh, who are you kidding? You think it'll be at $10? Because, you know, they thought I was being clickbaity by having the thumbnail say $10. And yeah, I mean, let's like, yeah, as a YouTuber, you want to say something that gets people to click on it, but I don't think that I wasn't making that up. Like this probably will eventually be $10 one day. So you have to look at it this way. Think about if CRO coin, now called Cronos, really just blew up and every single person you were friends with had a crypto.com account and everyone's trading. And I don't mean like Binance. Like look at Binance right now. Everyone you know isn't on Binance. You know, unless you're a hardcore crypto enthusiast and all your friends are into it. But like, you know, like for example, my family and my best friends, like a good amount of them probably don't even know what Binance is. Now let's say it turns into like Bank of America. You know, like everyone has a Bank of America account. You know, like, I mean, not everybody. You know, like probably half the people in the country have it though. Imagine if that happened to CRO, where that price would be. Seriously, think about that. You're talking about at least 30 or 40 times the amount of people that are in it now if it became that mainstream. And that's what you got to think about when you're thinking about the future. Like, is this going to be huge where every single person that you know is on Cronos, it has Cronos and trades with it on CRO, crypto.com, and invested. So that's a high possibility. So you just have to look at it that way. And like, yeah, it is a risk, but like the way that I look at it is the worst thing that's going to happen probably. And this is even worse than I predict could even happen. But like, say it loses half of its, say it loses 50%. Like I said, probably 30% is like the worst we're going to see. But just say, hypothetically, loses half of it. That's the risk. That's the biggest risk. You know, obviously it could lose everything if crypto just something bad happens, but I think it's here to stay. But the best case scenario is this thing 20x's, maybe 40x's. Like that's not crazy to think that that could happen. So it's up to you. Do your own research. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think this thing is gonna go to $10? You think it's gonna go to $20? You think it's gonna go to $5? Or you think it's just gonna stay where it's at? I think the reason why this is kind of a no-brainer, in my opinion, It's not investment advice, so keep that in mind. But in my opinion, the reason it's a no-brainer is I think that the chance of this going to $1 is like 80% plus of this going to $1 at some point in the next like 3 years. So, 80% chance it goes to $1, 20% chance it loses like 30%. So the risk reward is great on this. I'm not made of money, so it's not like I have a life-changing amount in this. But if it goes to $1, I mean, I'm definitely gonna make a few G's, and a few G's are a good thing, So do what you want, but do your own research. Don't listen to me. I'm just some guy on the internet. But I mean, out of all the coins, out of all the tokens, I think this has one of the biggest like mainstream appeals. What I mean by mainstream appeals is like Matt Damon's in their commercials, like they have the Lakers stadium. Anytime you're watching a basketball game, it's huge, right on the middle of the floor. And it's just they gotta somehow convince people to get involved in this. See, their marketing is, in my opinion, like could be a little better. And this is my gripe with what they're doing. And don't get me wrong, I'm heavily invested. I have high hopes, but like just having Matt Damon be like, oh, the future, you got to get into the future. Like explain what it is. Like explain to people why they should be involved in crypto. Like people don't know what it is. That's the problem. What is it? Like they see Matt Damon in the commercial. Well, what is it? And I don't know. It's just, as a crypto investor right now, I'm a little bit frustrated. And the reason I'm frustrated is because more people are investing in crypto than ever. It's like becoming more mainstream. Matt Damon's in commercials. The Staples Center is now the crypto.com arena. Like, all these things happening. The Super Bowl, if you watch the Super Bowl, every single commercial, and not every single, but like 1 out of 5 commercials was literally a crypto commercial, as opposed to the year before. I don't even know if there were any, but if there was like a 2 or 3 tops. So it's becoming mainstream, yet the price is not going up. And why is that? Well, quite honestly, because a lot of the hedge funds are turning on it. They're not turning on it like they own it, but there's manipulation, and there's just a lot of things that need to correct themselves for crypto to like truly blow up. Because I really think that there may be a little bit more of a waiting period where it just kind of ends up choppy. And I'm not talking about just CRO here, but like I think there might be a little bit longer where Bitcoin decides what it wants to do. But I think the powers that be that let me just manipulate. I'm talking about whales who like manipulate things. Like I don't think they want to let it go below this line right here. Right here. It's been saved numerous times. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been saved at this line multiple times. It's 30 here. This was like 35-ish here. So, this line is pretty much perfectly perpendicular with this. So if it does what I hope it does, we're looking at, 73,000 by like August, which is like highly likely. I'm just saying if it repeats this for a third time, and I've been investing in crypto stocks and everything forever, and usually this is a great sign that's going to happen again. Plus, it's kind of breaking out here. It's shown more positive momentum. See, like higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Like this is doing what I wanted to do. So just time will tell. Will it really make it there is the question. And that's for you to decide if you want to get involved. But if you look at it, that's what Bitcoin does. Look at CRO, pretty much the same thing. Higher lows here. It's just like it's like you could hate Bitcoin and own no Bitcoin, but you have to look at what it's doing regardless, because everything else follows it. And I don't have that much invested in Bitcoin right now because, like I said, if Bitcoin goes to 75,000, you're looking at only 100% gain on Bitcoin, but like everything else is going to like triple or quadruple, 5x if that happens. And I think it's going to happen. So why would I only want to double my money when I can 5x it? So that is all I got to say for this video. So keep your eyes on CRO and hope you learned something. Peace out and thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe. Yeah.